am Sure Sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, say this is Righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am Sure Sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am Sure Sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the date done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick-Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick-Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Greetings. Good afternoon. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Monies, man. How are you doing? Everybody doing well? Everybody having a good day? Having a good start to the morning? I'm sporting my Monies shirt today. Yes. Yeah. Monies is one of the clubs in the JPL, and I'm sporting one of their kits today. They did very well this season. Their most points in the league, I think they have 30 points so far, and they have one game remaining. So wanted to show them some love this morning on the show. All right. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. As usual, I am Management, right? Your host. All right. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do for me. As usual, we don't like to break our shows and be asking people to subscribe and share and all of that. We like to just be flowing and and just discussing what we are here to discuss, which is football. So we normally say once you come on, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to I Am Sure Sports. If you are a subscriber already, that is good. That is great. We appreciate that. Go ahead and hit that like button and also share the content with someone else. All right. Everything that Management does, we try to be purposeful with it. There's a reason for what we do. We don't just randomly discuss things. Of course, sometimes we are in such a privileged place that we have to be mindful of what we say and how we communicate. We are the kind of platform that if we get something wrong, we will come out and we will clearly state and boldly say that, you know what, the information that we share was not accurate, right? And it needs to be retracted because we want to make sure we protect the integrity of anyone. That is what the channel ought to be built on, that you must be credible because everyone is going to get it wrong. It's once you find out what the correct information is, what you do with that. All right. Yeah. So we have some stories that we're going to be sharing with you. we're going to discuss about making the coach job easier. And when we speak about that, we're talking about in the national setup from um, male to female teams. What can the Jamaica Football Federation do to make what can the JFF do to make the job of the coaches in its programs jobs a whole lot easier? All right. Also, I'm going to discuss. I hear some people saying that we are going to be playing Brazil, or we were supposed to play Brazil. I'm going to tell you what management believe is the Reggae Boys' best option in preparation for the Gold Cup, and I have a inclination that because the majority of our players are in Europe, that's possibly where we are going to be. We are going to discuss that. We're also going to be talking about the CAC game coming up. John Wall was here recently, did an interview with him. And as we talk about coach preparation, we want to find out what is going on now that he has come and met with these players. The CAC games is just around the corner. So, what are the preparations like? We're also going to be discussing something that we got some information from a player who participated in the World Cup campaign, and he just said, "Can you gently do this for us?" Haven't seen Mr. Chung. Figure that he probably is on vacation. We haven't seen him around or heard him recently, right? And I'm going to give you some tier two score update from yesterday for those of you who are interested in knowing what is going on in the second tier of Jamaica's football. All right, so there's a lot to discuss on today's program. So, um, lock and load, stick and stay. You understand me? But I want to share some quotes with you. And again, this is by deliberate intent. One of the hallmarks or one of the criteria of great leadership is that you cannot be easily intimidated. You cannot be just fearful that you're going to lose your position, you're going to lose your post, and somebody is going to come up better than you. Because leadership is about leaving a lasting legacy, and that is to pour all that you are into others so they can be better. Anytime you find yourself in a position where you are afraid of those who are coming up, it means that you have lost the right to lead. You lose the right to lead when you have no more desire to feed. What do I mean by that? If you are presently operating in a space that you don't want to help the people who are following you to be better, it means that you have lost the plot of leadership. You must be willing at all times as a leader to pour into others and to elevate and to lift them up, to make them better than you. And once you are not at the place to do that, honestly, you have lost the right to lead, because leadership is importantly about leaving a lasting legacy. All right? Want you to remember that. Leaving a lasting legacy. So let me give you these quotes and then we're going to get in. Don't matter the preamble. Oh, well, Monies man can't just get to the main thing. This is the main thing. You have to learn. We have to teach. We have to educate. We have to, we have to do that. We have to help to make people's life better. You understand me? This is bigger than sports for us. Yes, indeed. And in the meantime, remember yesterday we spoke about a director needed for youth football in Jamaica. JFF is seeking someone to come in for that job. So all of you can send in your application. All of you coaches who said you want to come and help Jamaica's football, you see, an opportunity has been presented to you. So make the most of the opportunity. You understand me? Make the most of the opportunity and send in your application. You may not get the job, but at least you applied. All right, so send in the application. All right. Yes, indeed. We are blessed indeed. All right. How you doing? Sure improvement. You're here. Big up, my lady. You understand me? Big up Pesa Team Reno won yesterday again. Craig Butler and his Baptist Alliance team out there in St. Thomas. Mr. Wayne Thompson, man. Baptist Alliance not going on too good, I want everyone management come coach your side. No, I know that is not your side, sir. But big up Mr. Wayne Thompson out here in Portland. You understand me, with Baptist Alliance. All right, but Reno, they won yesterday again. You understand me? That's a good thing. All right, so let me give you a couple of quotes. People finish doing that because some people say, man, you start the show, you don't send me the link, You see, leadership is based on inspiration, right? Not domination, and cooperation, not intimidation. A culture of intimidation has no justification in any administration. You hear these things? So lead by inspiration, not intimidation. Leadership is not about a title or a designation. It's about impact, influence, and inspiration. Leadership is not a position or a title. It is an action and example. The argument from intimidation is a confession of intellectual impotence. Leadership, again, is based on inspiration, not domination, and cooperation, not intimidation. You understand me? So I want you to remember those quotes. So people who are intimidated by you talk about you with hopes that others won't find you so appealing. So don't be intimidated by what you don't know. That can be your greatest strength, and ensure that you do things differently from everyone else. I am unique. I play by a different set of rules. I'm not intimidated by anything. Right? Leadership is based on inspiration, not domination, cooperation, not intimidation. All right? So I wanted to drop those on you. Your cataract, definitely. I'll send them to you. You understand me? Yeah. All right. So just wanted to give you those things. So let me give you some tier 2 scores from yesterday set of fixtures. All right. People, Jamaica not playing Brazil. All right. Jamaica not playing Brazil. All right. Just take money in the man. Right. Big up, big up, big up. Sometimes things change. Jamaica won't be. It's not going to happen. All right. Things change. Just know that. Nobody create. Let's not create any turmoil. Jamaica, it would have been a great opportunity, I think, for both teams, but it is for reasons that management don't know, it is not happening. All right, yesterday we spoke about Lamont Rochester, right? And we were challenged by Mr. Paul Maxwell. And so I got some information from someone down in Manchester. Now, here is the thing. The player is not an amateur player. The player was transferred from Greenville to Cavaliers, right, as an amateur, but there is an agreement in place that when the players moves, then the club, Greenville, that he's from, would receive some compensation. The deal that he's with now was led by Cavaliers, but they also had conversation with the people in Greenville, all right? So that is how it worked. That deal work. All right. So yesterday, I think we said that in the video, we said the deal was being done from our sources. They said that they were doing it. It is actually Cavaliers who led the charge on this. The player was transferred, like we said, because amateur players cannot be loaned. But there is an agreement in place where the player, the club, would benefit from any transfer of the player. All right. So here are the score. The in the games. Reno 5, Brownstone of Downs of Manchester 2, Baptist Alliance 1, True Juice 1. Of course, Baptist Alliance is coached by Coach Craig Butler. Treasure Beach 1, Limeall 1. You know Errol Stevens has come out of retirement and he's playing for that Limeall team. Yeah. Med Forest 2, Brownstone 1. That Brownstone team is the Mount Pleasant Academy. All right, Falmouth 3, Racing 3. So that's Trelawney versus St. Catherine. Wadada continues their miserable run. They lost 2 to Albion Mountain out of Pudgy, or up in St. Mary right there. You understand me? Then Portlanders, formerly St. George's, they were 2-0 winners over Hopewell United. All right. So there you go. So those are the scores in the tier 2. Yeah, man. Albion Mountain, them play at the Pudgy field when they play the game. Maybe they play different. 3 from Med Forest. Yeah, Med Forest is 3 from 3. I think they sit top the league with Treasure Beach behind them on 7. And then there is Reno. Med Forest is one of the teams that have not lost a game so far. And that Brownstone team with the Mount Pleasant player, they lost their first game yesterday, the little kids. All right. So, yeah. So let's see if the team Med Forest, if they do well, other teams from Kasafa may be tempted to rejoin the process of qualification. But you don't know, me have to big up Reno, Me have to big up Reno, Me I tell you, because I'm telling you, people, if I tell you football important, and you see, to Everton, Tomlinson, Wendell, Downswell, and all of the other people down that side, here's what I want you to know. I want you to use this to remind you how important football is. Many of the warring fractions down there in Westmoreland, people, have come together. Players have come out from some of the most volatile areas playing for Reno to get them back in the Premier League. I want you to hear me, people. And that is important. I hear that the game at Landilo, where the team is now training, thanks to the FA and the past players of Reno, man like Pussman, you understand me? Dennis Hudson, Ryan, what's his name? Donald Hewitt, all of these guys coming together to make sure that football is up and running in Westmoreland again. And this is what we want to see. We want to see, these things. Definitely we want to see these things. We want to see football running in the community because it has a social impact that cannot be underscored. That's not the only purpose, but that's a very, very important purpose that it serves, that it helps to minimize the impact of crime and violence. So happy for all of that. I'm also happy down there, in Westmoreland, there's a player called Michael Carr. That was one of those players who was way ahead. He was going to be, I think many people thought he was going to be one of the lethal strikers in Jamaica's football. And what happened to him is that some players conspired and broke his leg in a pre-season game. The players always talked about it, that they actually, I'm not going to call the school name, but they said they conspired to break his leg because he was so dangerous. And he just recovered from that. And the man is in his 20s, way up in his 20s, and he got this injury from around 18, couldn't play 17, couldn't play with the under 17, couldn't play under 20, all of those things. And he has been struggling. And since he has come back into the Reno side, he has scored 2 goals from 2 games. You understand me? So a lot of good things happening there. They have players from some of the major high schools also playing. So it's good to see that. People from Western Jamaica, from Westmoreland in particular, people who you grew up in Savannah, those places, and you're overseas, get some things and give to the communities, man. Let's stem the crime and violence down there. You understand me? They have Major League coming up down there as well. So give back to some of the teams down in those communities to help them rebuild. Find out what's going on in 12th Street, down by Dexter. You understand me? What's going on at Big Bridge, Stratbogie, Water Lane, Jane Marks, Frome, Grangill, Truro, Burn Savannah. Find out what's going on up by Belmont, White House, Cave. You understand me? Petersfield. You understand me? And all the works. And give back to the community to help transform Westmoreland back to where it is. You understand me? So, had to touch on that. Now, let's look at our topic, right? And so this morning, let me start with the last thing first. The first shall be the last. Ryan LFC, up and running, man. Bless up yourself. Shavar, up and running. Rob Simit. Oh, jeez. Mr. United, King Job. Bless up yourself, You understand me? So now, people, for those of you who want to join the panel, we have a multi-million-dollar contract on the channel right now. You understand me? Multi-million, soon turn into billion. And we don't talk about no rupees or no pesos. We are talking about a greenback. Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't want, if you cannot be on video, call in. You hear me I say? If you cannot be on video, call into the show. If you want to join the show, higher. If you want to join the show, higher. Here's the thing, higher. If you want to join the show, higher, you have to join the show on video. You understand me? Yeah, that's rule number one. Big up man like Alex Reed. Just arrived from under the bed. You understand me? Yeah. The man say he must study for be a flight attendant. You know, call it air hostess, you know. Flight attendant. Next time you travel upon JetBlue, Alex will come give you them local. But them call them thing there again. Kwame, you're saying that his foot wasn't broken intentionally? Yeah? Yeah, sure. That his foot wasn't broken intentionally. Which team they were playing, Kwame? Because you are from St. Elizabeth, you know. What's the name of the player from States that leg got broken? I don't want to call the school name. In the preseason game that they played, they had a competition and the school from St. Catherine. It was a school from St. Catherine. So tell me, Kwame, who did they play when his leg was broken? Was it a school from St. Catherine? Big up Tennessee, all right? So just tell me that, Kwame. Did he play a team against St. Catherine when that leg was broken? We just need to know. Ricky Rampassad, up and running. Answer me. We need to get the answer. Yeah. But what kind of fun, you know that Craig Butler's Phoenix Academy, they're actually playing in the Manchester Major League, you know. But Craig Butler is coaching in St. Thomas. I wonder how that's working. It must be very difficult. It must be very difficult. Must be very difficult. So I suspect that him probably having some problems either way. Sure improvement. The final stage, sure improvement. The final stage for the girls, U20, in what? In the Pan Am Games? All right, so let me get to this. All right, players want their money. So a player, right? Recently you heard there was something from, I think his name is Demar Rose. He was at Portmore. Peso. All right. Okay. A Dintil player broke his leg. So Kwame, don't worry. It was a plan. And they have spoken about it since. All right? It was intentional. They spoke about it afterwards. So you want to put it out there, it was intentional. And the three players met. I met with them. And they apologized to him. One plays in the Premier League right now, and one plays for a team called Racing. And they figured that that was what they had to do to get him out. It never worked out in their favor, however. So, anyways, Kwame, me not go take care. Me know Diddy, and I know the two players, and I was a person who met with them, sir. But we know, sir. We know. One thing I know, we all have a right to our opinion, whether it is right or wrong. But I know that I met with them. A few years after. Pesa, you know we know Diddy, you understand me? Yeah, you know, so we know Diddy. And we know the Dintil players them. But, right? But the players actually apologized to him. You understand me? I remember when the youth Simon he spoke about it because it took so long for him to recover. We were out at Draxall because I had brought him up. Big up Garfield, them call him Fussy. Whenever you see Diddy asking about Fussy and Monies, man, Kwame, and then we tell her the whole thing. Man, they come from the heart of South, Kwame. We know exactly what happened. Yeah, man, the youth them cry, man, because them say they feel sorry about it. But that was their plan from a long time because they had played in the preseason. But big up yourself, Kwame, you have other information, so you know what you know, and me know what me know. All right? Yeah. I also want you to know, people, let me just give you this, that Donovan Ducky has started his own academy, you know. Yeah, man started his own academy, you know. He's a president and technical director. It is called St. Mary. I'll show you it, you know. I'll show you a picture of it, you know. Yeah. And then we're going to get back to this pacing we are going right here. So, Donovan Ducky, big up yourself. I think after many years of moving from team to team, he has decided to go back to his home parish of St. Mary. Yeah, man. And he's doing his thing at St. Mary Central Academy. Let me show you the logo. You understand me? Yeah. So big up Donovan Ducky. Let's see what will become of this. It's good that these academies are popping up all over Jamaica because it will help with the development. You understand me? So let me show you that. And then if you're in the St. Mary area, you can go and check it out. This is Donovan Ducky's the logo for it. You understand me? St. Mary Central Academy. Judith Williamson up and running. Baller card check. Yeah, listen, the players were young, so that's why I excuse it. Because listen, what happened, right? So it so happened that I had this team that Diddy was he was supposed to play for. But when he came up, we played a practice game against Mount Pleasant. I think Teagat was a coach, and he did so well that they wanted to look at him. But the only reason I'm telling you people why it never worked out for him was because he was still suffering the effect of this injury. But when he played for my team against them, two of the players were in that Dintil team and were involved in the incident. And it just goes to show you. But like they have all moved on. You understand me? No, man, we never switch. We never switch Shavard Beard. Saves it. But so recently you'd have seen where Demar Rose, I believe his name is, he sent out something about outstanding monies to the players from the World Cup campaign. All right. Anyways, I have also heard that this is not the only player. So for the World Cup campaign, monies have not been paid. And from my sources, and again, from my sources, it is understood that the players are sort of saying, listen, settle all the outstanding monies before we head into the Gold Cup. Because, and I agree, you don't want to get into the Gold Cup with these things lingering over you. All right? Now, is the JFF strapped for cash? I don't know. Maybe FIFA, apparently, based on what Mr. Speed has been saying to us, is that FIFA will give them specific monies for specific projects. Maybe previously they could get money for one thing and then use it for something else. However, remember now, recently we were told that there's someone actually from FIFA who is in the offices in the accounts department. Something of that sort, right? It may not be exactly that, but we were told about that. That for a while there's somebody's here. So someone's here. So what that means is that maybe in previous times they could take money from here and cover this thing here. But right now, they don't have money to do that. What you need to do then is to find money. And maybe they need to get a sponsor. I don't know what the outstanding amount is to the players. I figure that the players are paid per game. And it does appear that, and let me just say it this way first. Firstly, I must commend the players because the World Cup campaign has ended in a while. The World Cup has finished as well. And the players have not said much up until recent times. So the truth is that the players have been very patient. All right. And sometimes we can be very hard on the players. But the fact that they have been patiently waiting from the World Cup campaign, and I suspect this is probably are predominantly our local and US-based players, more so than the European-based, meaning those who ply their trade in England. I don't think like the players who ply their trade in England are kind of saying, all right, give me my $1,000, please. I need it right now. I don't think that that is happening. All right. So I suspect that a lot of these outstanding monies would be for those who either are local players or those who ply their trade in the leagues in North America and Central America. And so what I would say to the JFF, see if there's a way that you can find sponsorship to get this money to pay the players, because you don't want this to be a lingering thing. Because to be fair to the players, the World Cup campaign ended when in December. No. All right. In December, World Cup was when? When was the World Cup? In Qatar. In the winter, right? Yeah. So World Cup campaign ended last year in the middle of LFC. It looked like a woman.
No man, because no one them see my company logo, so my apology. Can you say no one nobody from the team without any of them?
Yeah,
Unless
right.
I go turn off my camera right now, brother.
No man, you can go ahead and talk, man. No man,
Alright.
no man. This is understood. I appreciate you respecting this thing, man. Go ahead, man. What say you now? So this is from April, so this is 1 year now. So go ahead, right? You look like
Monies.
you're freezing. You're freezing. You want to turn off the camera because you're freezing
Monies.
to see if you'll get the reception. Yeah, you're freezing.
Hold on.
So turn off the camera and see if you will get better, if it will work better. Since you're freezing. No, man, I'm not saying the players are starving, but all I'm saying is that, yeah, whether we believe the players were good or not, whether we believe they should have been called or not, they were called. And they played, they sat on the bench, they trained. So I just think they should get their monies just to avoid. And all I'm saying, it has been a year or close to a year. So I think that is enough time. I think that is enough time, just to be fair to the players. And we haven't heard a lot of ruckus, a lot of noise, a lot of quarreling. Like I said, the only person we have heard anything from in recent time is Demario Rose, who came out and made a tweet or a post on his Instagram, which wasn't even disrespectful. So I think, yeah, I think that must be consideration must be given to that. And even if for whatever reason you can't give them all the money at once, I think at this time you need to give them some of their monies and explain to them how and when you're going to give them the rest. But you don't want this to linger over the team, because here's what now. It is going to be unfair to the players, because here's what. if it comes out who get money and who don't get money, and then some of the players get called and them don't play good, all kind of issues going to come up. And you don't want to put the players under undue pressure from the fans. Yeah. So generally, when these things happen, the captain, the vice captain are the leaders in the team, right? And I can tell you how this is going to come about. If this comes up, I don't know if the player should ever make any sort of petition or write to the GFF. You'd expect, watch this, watch what the problem going to be. Who is going to write? The person who leads the team, which is either Andre Blake or Damian Lowe. If that happens, it's going to come across like these guys are creating and spreading division. And you don't want that to happen. Like I said, heading into the Gold Cup, you don't want Coach Al Grimson to be dealing with this. So I think immediately, if the information that I have received is accurate and can be verified by the GFF, I think it is important that it be dealt with immediately. So here's what you're saying, that I'm sure improvement, that if the team lose the game, the players should not be paid. Suppose the team win and one player don't play good. That player, what do you mean by performance pay? We need results. So whenever your team lose, you should not pay your players. I don't know. Explain that to me, sure improvement. You and I not going to agree on this one. I believe that people should be. You're not called to the national team to be paid if you win. You're called to represent, because you may not play. You may sit on the bench. You may sit on the bench and train, but you don't get into the game. Why should you not be paid? What you can say is that if you win, there will be incentives for winning. Demar Rose presently plays for Harborview. He also played for Wolmer's. And we'll be having a former Woolmerian, Arnett Gardens captain in their last game, Joel Cunningham. He will be on the show later today, sharing his story. Former Howard Bison man as well. Went to the University of Howard. So JFF, see if you can sort this out. Talk to the player representative if there is any such thing. See if you can, scuffle up some money, hustle up some money. Reach out to your diaspora people. See if them can raise a 20,000 US. I don't know how much it is. Maybe it's way more than that. Maybe that is just a one player. I don't know. But what it is, players must be paid, but you can also give additional monies for performances. I think Mr. Wint may have meant that all the players were paid up to a particular point. But there are some outstanding monies. All right. Now, the CAC games, what is happening? I like this by A.M. Henry. I like this. It is up to the team to remove poor performing players from the team. So they are paying, right? So if players are not performing, then drop them and bring in players. All right. And remember, it is at the end of the day, it's up to the coach. But sometimes, every time people ask, I realize that Jamaica is like this, If the teachers strike, a lot of people have problems. If the police strike, people have problems. If the drivers strike, people have problems. But if the people don't believe that they are compensated, while it is very inconvenient, sometimes we blame the people who go on strike instead of the people who cause the strike. I'm not saying that this is going to happen in this case, but certainly, if the players have played, yes, it is difficult. There must be constant dialogue with them, and there must be major efforts being made to pay them. Right? Okay, sure, improvement. Understand that. Yeah. But I do know, I do believe that if the players achieve a certain thing, they get a little bit extra. Isn't it different amount even for different players? Like it's like wasn't it some $2,500 that they negotiated, or that was for the Gold Cup? It's not. Is it per game? How much they get per game? Isn't what is it? I don't think it's a lot of money. I remember there was a discussion, I think, in one of the Gold Cups that the players get like 2,500 per game. I'm wondering how much money the players get per game. How much do they get every time they represent the country? See, leader saying it. I see leader saying it here that he knows of players who. Yeah, we're talking US. I think the starters may get 2,500, or senior players 2,500 per game. Is that what it is? Either 2,000 or 2,500 US dollars. I think that is what it is, you know. It could be. I think when the last negotiations, um, when the old Bruce Gain and Damian Lowe and those guys, I think that is what they had settled on at that time, somewhere between $2,000 and $2,500 per game. But don't quote me on that. And if anyone can verify that, you can let me know, right? But please, I think 1 year is sufficient time to have settled accounts. We don't want any disruption, so we gently bring it up. And players, let me commend the players again. No, sure improvement. What you saying that the female team don't get pay? No, of course the female team get pay. The female team, didn't the female team ask a raise even recently? But they do get pay. I'm sure. Where you get that they don't get any pay for sure improvement? Sure improvement. You're sure that the female players don't get paid per game outside of their per diem? Are you sure improvement? Check on that. I believe they get paid. Yeah, man. Remember up to a few months ago, I think even Khadija Shaw, that's part of the meeting they have about raising their salaries because they don't believe that they were getting enough money per game and their per diem needed to change. No, sure improvement. Sure improvement. You have to give me facts, you know. Are you saying that the female team got $200 per game outside of per diem, or you don't know and you're asking? They don't get 200 per game. Sure improvement. So I need to know if you're asking. The ladies do get, I'm telling you that up to a month or two ago, oh, you ask it, there you go. Yeah, man, they get paid. I think they have different scale of salaries or payment for the female team. And the senior players get more. And they were asking for a raise because they had qualified for the second World Cup. Well, I don't know if that 2000 was for the Gold Cup, but I am sure that in those negotiations there was a 2000 for, remember, starters get, if you go into the game you get, if you don't play you get a different amount. Senior players, that is probably the ceiling, but you have lower you have lower, yeah, lower what you call pay ranges. So I think it starts DV group. I think that's where it starts. Let me see if I can find. Let me just verify something. All right. So there you go. So that is players want their money. CSC games. No, I don't know what is happening. I think I need to know what is happening with the CSC games because I mean January should be meeting with players again and doing stuff. Is it that the JFF can't afford any more camps? What is going on with this U20 team? U20, U23 team. What is going on? Because we certainly need to start making preparation. Yeah. Yo, Dre, anyways, I mean, I have no Harbour View jersey. You understand me? I'm more lines, I'm more lines, I'm a club, I'm more lines thing, you know, more lines, you understand me? I'm more lines drop the jersey, so me have to show more lines some love. Simply put. You understand me? They didn't deserve more because it was not like they were doing anything. All right? Listen, here's it. Imagine you paint a man house and you charge him $10,000 and him saying no pay a good, say you don't deserve no money. How would you feel? You believe you have done your best? Him said to you, him not like him house paint. Should he still pay you for what you did? So that is a question that must be answered. All right? Yeah, the CSC games. What is going on with the CSC games and this team? We're not hearing much. We don't know what's happening. You know, uh, you know, and this is why my first question, my first point in this video is important. Making the coach job easier. Yeah, yeah. Because I wear people. Me can wear a Liverpool. If you buy me a Liverpool shirt, me wear it, you know. I will wear a Liverpool shirt, you know. I will wear a Liverpool shirt. I will wear a Manchester United shirt. Yeah, I will wear a Man shirt. It's just a shirt. All right? What you get? I want you to get that. But if I'm going to buy a shirt, I'm going to buy an Arsenal shirt. You see the difference? But if you want to buy a shirt for me, that's from a different team, you can. You understand me? But when I am going to buy a shirt, I'm going to buy. So Mullines, big up on yourself because Mr. Paul Christie at Mullines. The Arsenal man, they're going to beat me now. Paul Christie at Mount Pleasant. You remember people came in on this program and he said to me, Monies man, Planet 41, why you come up with that now? Well, how we reach so far, brother? How we got? How we gone? How we get there, so? Planet of 41. How we reach there, sir, brother? We are talking about football team. Look where you gone, pan. Oh, what you saying that? Hold on, this one is interesting. Mr. Speed. Did Mr. Speed actually say that? That both teams should be awarded? So hold on. The rule says if you use a player, you'll be deducted points. So how you want them to be awarded? I don't understand. That don't make no sense. Even if you award them points, you don't have to go deduct the points same way. At the same outcome you're gonna have. You're gonna have the same outcome. The only difference is the goal. Because Waterhouse got points, yeah, it was deducted. What should happen is that if any other thing supposed to be done, if you did the case separately, it's in today's Star. We need to call Mr. Speed and ask him this. I wonder if he's not going to sign up people. Okay. All right. So I just getting. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. What is what they said at the Gold Cup deal? Let me just say this. I'm going to verify this. Is that 2,000 I think was for a win. So there's a different money for a draw, for a loss, and for a win. The ceiling of 2,000 is if you win the game. So if you draw the game, you get less. And if you lose the game, you get less. But there's a basic that you get. I think that is how it works. That makes sense, don't it? All right. So let me see. When the conversation them sticky, me notice Mr. Speed and Leader not join the program, you know. So let me see you now. I better say him now go join the show. Braxton, I be coach. Bless up yourself. Mr. Speed, just to let you know, you're live on I Am Sure Sports because I just.
Why am I live on I Am?
All right, you can hang up, man. You know, because somebody just said there was something in a.
No, why would I hang up on it? I just wanted to know why I'm live.
Oh, why you? Oh, you want to know why you're live? Because if you're not live, man, you're not dead, man. And we know why you're dead, man. We want you to stay alive, man. But somebody just reported that in the Star today, it says you suggested in an article in the Star that both teams, which is Cavaliers and Waterhouse, should have been awarded 3 points instead of points being deducted from them. If that is so, can you explain it? And if not so, can you just refute it?
Based on the rule that we have now, once another team is a similar with a player, the other team is awarded 3 points plus 2 goals, and they are losing in 0 points and minus. That's the rule we have. Because the rule was never designed to punish two teams that was game. That has never happened before in they couldn't find any case in a FIFA CONCACAF where that has ever happened before. Where two teams breach the same ineligible player rule. Based on the rule we have, if you try me, you'd have to say. If you try Cavalier, you'd have to say. He's an ineligible player. Waterhouse is awarded 3 points. And if you try Waterhouse, you'd have to say Waterhouse. He's an ineligible player. Cavalier could get 3 points. So Cavalier gets 3 points. So that would have been the ruling, which doesn't make no sense. And I agree with that. It doesn't make no sense if that ruling is done. Therefore, if you did a ruling to deal with pre-season breaching, because that is, you should have people, other things that you saw to deal with that match. So you could declare the match null and void or no contest. You follow me so far?
Yeah, you're kind of low, but I think the people are hearing you.
Right, they could have declared the match null and void or no contest. If you declare the match null and void, then nothing don't happen. And in that case, none of the teams could be deducted 3 goals. And none of the teams could get any points. And actually, that is the position that I would do. That is what I would do if I were to want ruling or the declare the match and no contest, which the competition committee department can do. And if it is declared no contest, then it's the same thing. The same thing, except the cards that are encouraged to match would still be applicable, and the 2 players that didn't serve up their cards have to serve their cards in a subsequent match. So the definition of the match, and that is what I think they should have done first. Because the rule that them have now, they can't do the situation.
Okay, so let me work this through. So let's go it step by step. Waterhouse. Let's begin this way. Let's begin it this way. Waterhouse did not know that they use a player that should not have played based on cards, but they found. So watch me. They found out that Cavaliers, within the time they made an appeal. They protested. So they protested. This is if they had lost the game. Because if Waterhouse protested, what would have happened is nothing. Nothing would have happened. If Waterhouse was the only team that protested, nothing would have happened, don't it?
Yes, Waterhouse would have kept their 3 points, but instead of getting 1 goal, they would have got 3 goals.
Right. So they would have gotten 2 additional goals.
Correct.
All right. In the grand scheme of things. All right. So say that they rightfully protested. All that would have happened is that instead of having 1 goal, they would have gotten 3. Right. So they done their process and they have benefited and they clap their hands and say, yeah. All right. Cavaliers comes. So remember now, Cavaliers end up losing 3 goals, Though, right, because Waterhouse protest, though you didn't score any goal, you are still going to lose 3 goals, according to the rule.
Yeah.
All right. So now, Cavaliers say, hold on, I joking this. Waterhouse also did the same thing, and they did this the following day, but within the time. The competitions committee bring the case. And the ruling is, well, according to the rule, Waterhouse, you must lose 3 points and deducted 3 goals. And that is awarded to Cavaliers. All right. Waterhouse.
That ruling would make no sense.
No.
The 2 teams would have 3 points.
No. Waterhouse would not have 3 points. No. What would have happened is that both teams would have been awarded 3 points at the same game, which is not possible in football.
Correct.
But Waterhouse would not have gained any point from it because they are going to lose it on appeal. Cavaliers would have gained because they didn't have any deducted because they lost.
Why you mix it up?
No, I'm not mix it up.
If you try both of them, correct? they award 3 points and 3 goals. But what would happen is that the goals would nil out. Agree? Goals would nil out on both sides. But the 3 points will remain if you apply the rule as how it is. I'm saying that that rule cannot be applied.
No, so the rule cannot be applied except you try them as individual a protest.
Right. And if you did that, you'd have give 2 teams 2 points each. And the goals are cancelled each other. So you'd have give, because the rule, all of that, you keep to the rule and don't use it. That's the point. So nobody, Waterhouse or Cavaliers, not upset about the point. Nobody is anyway upset the point. We agree that we agree on the point. Not team must get points. What both teams have a problem with is the -3 goals.
Well, you can't if you don't listen. The only way that would work is this: you cannot agree with the point deduction, but don't agree with the goal deduction.
Yes, because look here, that's why I mean some of the time it's because I don't understand the rules. It's difficult to talk to you guys. Let me explain why. But just explain to you that the original rule, it's not how it is worded. If you speed up the goal, you have to give first the next person 3 points because the rule has to be used in its entirety. You can take out a piece of the rule and apply it and then leave a piece that you apply. You understand what I mean? It is 1 goal, 3 points, plus 3 goals if your opponent is at any game.
So the rule is there's 3 goals and 3 points.
That's what the
to
rule
share. There are only 3 goals and 3 points to share. Because watch this. Both teams lost points. So you leave the goals. What do you do with the 3 goals? You cannot give Waterhouse them.
No, they deduct the 3 goals from Cavalier and they deduct the 3 goals from Waterhouse.
That has to happen. That has to happen. Yeah, that has to happen. What I'm saying is that has to happen because you have points and goals to deduct.
Listening now, and that's why sometimes I make more explain because you don't explain, understand. You just think that's how it must go, and now listen up. If you have a rule where says if your opponent lose an energy of the player, you must get 3 points and plus 2. That's what the rule says. Plain. So when Waterhouse use an energy of the player, Cavaliers should get 3 points and 3 goals. That's what the rule says. And when Cavalier use an ineligible player, but the rule was always meant to when one team breach. So if Waterhouse, so when you look at it, Cavalier now use an ineligible player, Waterhouse to get 3 points and 3 goals. That's what the rule says. That's how it is specifically. So you can apply the goal alone and don't apply the point. That's the point I'm making. So the rule should not be used for this situation. You get me yet? Why this rule that I'm trying to use cannot be used for this situation. You get me yet?
Let me tell you the only thing I disagree. No, I understand what you're saying. We have had this discussion. The only thing I disagree with is.
But
but me just say I agree with what you just said.
Right.
Here's a problem. The people. Hold on. No.
I'm saying no. That rule should have never been used to deal with this problem because it can't deal with it properly. It makes you have a cockeyed ruling when you.
So if the rule, okay, so fine. So I agree with you. The rule should not have been used. Cavaliers must get 3 points and 3 goals. Waterhouse must get 3 points and 3 goals because the rule cannot be used.
That rule.
Eh?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
so both teams did something wrong, but because the rule that is there don't cover it, both teams must be rewarded based on the same rule with 3 points and 3 goals.
No. I am saying they should not use that rule. Look here, let me make it clear. None of us believe that you must get any point.
No, but you can't do what you believe. Let's stick to the rule. I'm asking about the rule. You're saying that the present rule cannot deal with the situation.
Correct.
All right. So if the rule cannot deal with the situation, then we cannot use a component of the rule to say that each team should have gotten 3 points and 3 goals. You can't apply the rule. If you say truth, you don't apply.
But they agree with that. But you don't listen to that when me say. You just want to argue with me. I am agreeing that the rule should not be used, so none of us should get 3 goals or 3 points. None of us should get 2 goals or 3 points.
So, but Waterhouse would get 3 points. That is the issue, because it is. Remember now, if the rule don't apply, Waterhouse benefited from the game. How do you deal with that though?
No, there's other rules that can apply. That's the point I'm trying to make.
All right, so let me ask you now. All right, so what rule should have been applied to Waterhouse who benefited from the game?
No, the match, look here, let me just go through the competition committee department has the right to declare the match null and void because both teams do. They say if you declare it null and void, nobody can get no point. So it just never happened. That's what null and void means.
So would Waterhouse have a goal from the game?
No, null and void means nothing happened. Null and void means nobody gets any point. Nobody gets any
listen, here's the thing though, Mr. Speed. You believe that nobody understands you. And nobody is listening to you. That's what you believe. You know?
No, you do not understand.
No, but everybody is saying that they understand that. But let's get to this now. You're saying that the specific ruling in the competitions booklet or whatever that deals with this issue is that the game should have been declared null and void. Meaning,
or no result. They have 2 terms. Null and void or no result.
All right. Which one are the rules in this thing that deals with it? About the competitions committee has the autonomy in a situation like this to declare it null and void.
Correct.
No, man. I'm asking you which one are the rules?
Just like how president of the JSF and to declare the whole season null and void. Do you remember that? They have the right to do.
Okay, so the game is null and void.
Yes.
Okay.
If it's null and void, nobody will get no point, nobody will lose no goal, nobody will get no goal. Because both teams do.
Okay. So
that is what we're defending. So I don't know what the reports are right. But that's why we have said the rule now apply. It's better you use null and void or no result, which you have the power to do, which makes certain sense.
But there was a result, though, Mr. Speed. It cannot be no result because there was a result. It has to be null and void. It cannot be no result.
There's no. Yes.
There was a result.
Look here, let me tell you why null and void or no result, them have 2 different meanings.
But that's what I'm saying to you. The correct thing to say is null and void, not no result, because there was a result.
Which one them choose. As long as nobody not get no points, you're right with that. That's fine. Both of us are right with that.
But nobody don't get any points. Nobody don't get any points from the game, you know.
So here our problem. Both of us have this problem.
Is it goal deduction? Because the goal deduction adversely affects Waterhouse.
It affects both of us.
So here's the thing though. If it were treated as null and void, wouldn't the other teams be rightful to protest that you broke a rule and to benefit, you declared the game null and void at my expense?
Or with a benefit when you declare null and void?
Because, here's why. You would not have lost 3 goals, which you have done now. So if it comes down to goal difference, you could lose out because you have an inferior goal difference based on the 3 goals deducted. Waterhouse, Waterhouse also is at a clear disadvantage. Here's why. Because they have lost 2 additional goals, which means the amount of goals that they need to score against Humble Lion is way more. If you change it and give them the goals, it puts them in an advantage, though they did something to break the rule. Wouldn't the other teams be rightful to protest that?
They could if they want, and everybody have the right to protest. But I'm just saying, to me, what happened now is that Waterhouse have to climb a hill against the Lions. With once they declared the match null and void, they would have suffered enough. They won the game, they lose the game. I don't know why we're suffering them anymore.
Colin question, Mr. Speed team should lose 6 points because he knows the rule better than everyone else. He man say you will lose 6 points because you know the rule better than everybody else. Oh, this catch you. At 6 points if you lose for that. Military gonna say, make them climb the hill. They broke the rule. And then Dre anyway that said
there was no rule. They have no rule.
Yeah, and Dre anyway that says him lose the game already. So if null and void means him not get punished because you're not being sanctioned because you already lose the game.
Yeah, but me not issues because people are thinking. I mean, our mindset is not like us. You know, issue. Them want to, not here.
No, Mr. Speed. There are people, sir. There are people in the comment section who just letting you know. Every time you're on the platform, you know, there are people who agree with you, you know.
No, me not say nothing, but me just you know why Dre no.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
Dre,
so you know why Dre, you know, military go on a team a fight for your spot in the top 6. So of course he want Waterhouse lose the goal because he want his team squeezing. So everybody have them ulterior motive.
You know, and them want me lose 6 points. You know, you want me lose some other points or that women.
All right, T-Gat is here. Let me T-Gat. On behalf of I Am Sure Sports, I'm asking everyone to turn their phones to prevent hearing loss. T-Gat is here. We will not for any.
Just one question, man. One question. Because me I listen to the program, I'm more to understand the null and void thing. All right. If the match, Waterhouse match null and void, that means that the match don't play, right? Is that the understanding? Null and void, the match never play.
So each team, both of those teams would end up with like 1 game less, like 25 games would end the season with.
Okay, so then when I play, the both team don't play a game less than the rest of the team.
Yeah.
So is that fair? If you're slated to play amount of games and you play at the end of the season, you end up playing less game. So is that fair to the team? If it's null and void? I don't know. I just want to know.
The ruling could have replay the match, you know. The ruling could have replayed too, you know.
Okay.
But that wasn't the ruling. So, I mean, we have to just live with whatever ruling it is. But the one of the things I'm curious is to up to 3 goals because you never have a rule. The rule where you should not use. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Military gonna say move away with this null and void nonsense. That makes no sense.
Military would have a null and void, but not cover your case, but 4 games to your catch up. And so I understand why you ask.
And Dre anyway that says it doesn't benefit his team either way. Brian says he agrees with the null and void argument. Oh, he's here. Cataract, what say you on this matter? Neo the lawyer says this is what? Status quo ante?
I'm not a lawyer. Good afternoon to the panel and panelists. I'm just sharing some views about social justice. So first is...
Social justice?
Yes, social justice.
All right, boss, go ahead.
The principles of justice say that if you break the law and there's a punitive measure, then it should be applied. For me, I'm not going to adjudicate, I don't sit in that seat, but I wanted to go one step behind and ask. In a match takes place in football, it doesn't only affect the 2 teams that are playing the game. There are teams behind them. There may be teams ahead of them that are trying to get into, I don't know, the Champions League, for example, that are dependent on results, because many teams depend on results in other games, such as the team that I support, Leeds United. We will be depending on results from elsewhere. So when you make a ruling, it is not only about the two teams who are affected in the ruling, but you have to look at what it means for those teams in and around them. That's one. Number two is I would like someone to tell me clearly how it is that this breach occurred, that in a professional league that we were told of the highest standards, the two ineligible players make a match day squad. So share with us, the fans, when is a match day team sheet comes out, who inspects it, because somebody has to be accountable. Because there's supposed to be a match day official, there's supposed to be a fourth official. I don't know their rules, but there's a match day official, and there's supposed to be someone who indicates accumulation of cards. You're to be out because of a 2-game suspension for red card. I don't know what else, or any other ban that you may have. Maybe it might be illegal doping, and you have a WADA ban. And who monitors these things to ensure that those players don't turn up on match day, or don't appear on a match day listing, much less a starting 11 or a match day listing. I'm going to say match day listing. I don't have the two you them start. So those are the two. One is an issue that I have about justice, and one is an issue about the question about who is accountable, responsible. Because for the life of me, I've been watching English Premier League from 1988, nearly 30-something years. I have never heard of an ineligible player taking the field. So what is it that occurs here, and who is responsible? Because whoever's responsible, whoever's accountable, must be held responsible.
All right. We have Brian was trying to know that, but Mr. Speed was going to say something. Mr. Speed.
What means that? We always get a notification about that system that is there. We get it every week. But this particular week we didn't get it. But the rules say, listen, don't rely on our notification. It is your responsibility. That's what it is. What Shark was saying, other even need them, all of those things will be posted somewhere. You can know a person can't take it and it's bad enough.
Yeah, they're saying your audio kind of low, Mr. Speed. I don't know why.
No, I'm saying you can, in a modern society, modern other better league, card status of players, give them card history. You can find it, and you can find it because of all their structures are, so it is easier to check. In our case, you would have to keep records for yourself, and even if the record that they give you is wrong, then tell you, no, you have to keep records for yourself and make sure you do the proper thing. So it cannot be in our situation. So like even I'm on a yellow card and a straight red card. The yellow card still counting as one, So when you reach 5, you probably will figure say, okay, that's not going to get a red card. No, it counts still. You can get a straight red. If you get 2 yellow, then they don't count because you get a red. There's things where you really have to monitor in our situation. And we can see how it happens. Because the first it happened, you just make such a big picture because I think you try fight the first and that fight to start to be the playoff. That is like a big picture. No, but it's coming up now. I know it's not about it.
All right, let me hear from Brian. Yeah, man, you are kind of familiar. You are declaring that the game should be null and void, and that's you believe that's a fair argument. Military gonna say if you move from here, so with that, talk to him. Brian. Brian looks like he's frozen. Some person are saying that give the 6 points to Chopper and give the 6 points to Portmore. Dre anyway,
I am sorry, Mannings.
Dre anyway, I believe that Cavalier should be banned for the semifinals.
Mannings. I am no man. Hold on.
I mean, our section of the drawing up.
Okay.
Then when they got up in a game, and then we up there.
Okay, hold on, Keter, because Brian is I think Brian is here now. Brian, you here? Are you still frozen?
Yeah, man, I'm here. No, man, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, what say you on the matter? You were saying that you agree with the null and void thing. Military gonna say if you move from here with that.
Yeah, man. Afternoon. Firstly,
All right, Brian has disappeared. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say, saying that the clubs must be responsible for keeping track is like saying that I am driving my car and I must stand up outside on the road with the speed gun. The keeping track of the cards and suspensions and player eligibility must be the response of a competitions community or committee or an adjudicating body. It can't be left up to the people, the clubs, to self-police themselves.
Yeah, but I think that Mr. Speed said that it is the competitions committee, and I think military gonna say, but the clubs can also track. But
I'm asking, who is responsible? What are they using to do that? Is somebody in the JFF sitting down there with an exercise book and pencil? Because that's what it sounds like.
No, man, they get the match report.
Okay, so you get the match report. Is the accumulation of cards, Mr. Speed, done on some software somewhere? And on a weekly basis, it is sent out to the entire league?
It wasn't sent out that week. It usually sent out, but that week it wasn't sent. And nobody delivered those players in the club. They just never know.
Unless they thought they would get away with it, but I'll take your word for it. But I'm just saying, why? So somebody have to be held accountable. That's me as a fan, and I don't. Because it brings the game into disrepute. It brings Jamaican sports into disrepute. If those who have responsibility for managing and what a big word may I look for, and I don't even know the word. Who are on the thing? Like it's at a trap. If you put all the letters to run the thing together, it's a big word. Only for letters. But I just say they don't look good. And I'm concerned. I don't know. Look, big up the ultras and my people rate me. I know someone why you and me talk just lack on his. But my thing is, last night I watched sports news. I'm seeing that nearly 70%, that 70% come up, 70% of the horses over Caymanners on one race day test positive for drugs. We don't find nowhere in the Western Hemisphere. And people are wondering what's happening. We have to protect the integrity of our sport and our sporting structures. And if somebody have a responsibility for something, they must be held accountable for it. And so whoever's supposed to send out that match, the report, Mr. Speed, if you lose your work.
All right, Tigat, yeah, big up. That's a good point, Ketarak. Who is responsible and what are the sanctions? Tigat, what say you?
My question is, Mr. Speed, Waterhouse lost 3 goals plus 3 points because of the rule. You only lost 3 goals but no points. Why is that so?
Because they never got any point from the game.
Does it really matter? The rule said they should lose 3 points.
For the game, no. Let me read it. No, let me read the rule. The game. It never said lose. So let me read the rules. The rule says if the team that breaches forfeit the match, then both teams have forfeited the match. The end of the match is no. It says oh geez. Let me find it and read it. But the rule is all right. It says Any club found guilty of fielding an ineligible player shall forfeit the match. Victory and the resultant 3 points will be awarded to the opposing team. So it is for that match. The decision is based on that match. So it is not you just lose 3 points generally. It is just for that game.
Which make a lot of sense. Oh, you're taking no point.
So you couldn't go and take points on my first game in the league because me just do the breach for this. Unless I was using.
It don't matter if the breach win or lose, you know.
Yeah.
The breach, you know.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example. If you use an overage player, they can only sanction you for the game the player played in.
You know, so I Dre anyway that spend the money.
Who got the what? Planet of 44 said the testing machine over Cayman Spark not working Cataract. Yeah.
That's why there are people who do them things and can't get them, or people in the market.
The people one on the Cataract. Military Guna. The people them tell you that me beat you. Military Guna. No, me need to beat you. Military Guna. I know in your team of the week, when you are doing it, you actually say in the video, this is based on what I have seen. Right? You need to write that when you're putting up the team. You cannot say JPL team of the week. You must say, based on the games that Military Guna watch, this is my JPL team of the week. Because I realize that your team always have players from a particular geographical location. And and there's one player that he makes every team of the week. I don't understand that. Every team of the week. From the man come back in the league, Military Guna. You have him in every team of the week. So you need to call me so I can tell you some other game go that I watch. So I can tell you, no, you can put in this player.
Military Guna soon call.
So yeah. All right. But that is it though. Like I said that but yeah. Mr. Speed, do the players, right? This is a different question we're trying to figure out because I just got something I'm not sure. Do the players get paid like in the national team, male and female? Do they get paid for a win, a draw, or a loss, or it's just general pay?
You get paid for a lot. You get there's you get paid for appearance. You get per diem, you get paid for appearance. I get paid to win, and in some cases, draw. When you lose, I get paid to win.
Oh, so you get a per diem, you get an appearance fee.
Yeah, and you get bonuses when you win or draw.
Oh.
And if there's a prize money, they get a percentage of the prize. We treat them good, man.
So does that mean that if I get called up, I get for appearance fee?
Yeah, you get appearance.
If I don't play in the game, is that everybody get the same appearance fee?
Yeah, you get appearance fee. No, some tournaments the appearance fee stagger. Sometimes everybody get the same appearance fee. Like if you start, if you come on, if you don't come on, stagger in some tournament. There's a contract. I don't remember the details, but you're sure if you get an appearance fee and you're sure if you get a third game. Everybody gets the same third game. Whether you see that.
Okay, do they pay like senior players different from like suppose this is my first cap? Do I get the same appearance fee and compensation as a player that is playing his 46 game?
Yeah, just start and get it.
Okay.
So Monies, I have a question. The last contract, Mr. Speed, we were informed that it ended for the senior Reggae Boys senior men's team. It ended at the end of it would have ended at the World Cup, right? Which was last December. Have the players been issued? Pardon me?
It's not true.
It's not true. Okay. So what was the expiry date, or what's the end date of the contract that the players signed in 2021? Yeah, before the
December 2023.
December 2023.
3, yeah.
Okay, so it's still in effect. Thank you for that. And
That was the one that came out of the meeting with Bruce Gaynor and Lowe, that contract,
didn't
right?
come out of that meeting?
Oh, that was the contract that came out of the meeting with me.
Oh, that was the one that you. Okay. Go ahead,
After
Ken.
that come out meeting where you were talking.
Okay.
So man, I have a question. Also, a couple of questions for the public to know, because people ask. Does that contract cover age group teams? Meaning the boys are under 20, the boys are under 17.
No, we're not paying.
So players playing at the age group level do not get appearance fees. So, and Monies, you can hear me because I'm not hearing Mr. Speed's responses.
Per diem.
They get per diem.
No, man, per diem is for your meals, hotel, getting around. That's what's given.
No.
But
No.
But you don't pay for hotel and meals.
Yeah, we pay for everything.
So, okay, let me read. A per diem is given as for expenses that a person who is traveling on official duty to cover those expenses. It's not. It's different from a salary or a match fee.
That's not what we're saying, though. Okay? What I'm saying, though, is that a per diem, in the case of a national team, is not for hotel and food. That's all I'm saying.
All of that is paid by us.
Okay. So the per diem is for your out-of-pocket expenses. Let me clear it. Per diem is for out-of-pocket expenses, right?
I don't know what they do. I don't know what they use it to do. I will pay for them baggage to pay for it. They're not pay. We just get it and put them in pocket. I will give it them. We're not asking them to account for it or anything.
As far as I know, no one has someone to account for per diem. So maybe I'd ask, when the JFF calculates the per diem, but I'm not even getting that. That's one. So it doesn't apply to under 20 teams. They don't get an appearance fee for tournaments, etc., etc. Fine. The other question that I'd like to ask is what is the appearance fee structure? When we were told it was 2,000 US, I think that was, or 2,500 that was negotiated. I'm not sure of the figure. Was that only for World Cup qualifiers or for each game in the contract period?
Every tournament have probably a different figure. Friendly match have a different figure. If you play a top team in a top 20 is a different figure. So there's different figure for depending on who you play. And different figure depending on the tournament. So World Cup will be different than World Cup qualifier. So that's how it's different. Friendly against England today will be a different figure. So everything's different. It is not one thing for all.
You hearing that, Ketarock?
Yeah, I heard it, and I will digest it at another time. But I've gotten the facts.
So how it works? So when we heard about the $2,000, I think $2,000, that is from appearance fee to additional payment, amounting to a total of 2,000 to 2,500, I believe.
I don't know what you're talking about. The player them mustn't tell you how much money they might get, because all they do when people hear how much money they get, they calculate it in a Jamaican and give them a hard time.
But I'm sorry, Mr. Speed. For many national teams and for their club, we know how much they get paid for their club. I can go and Google it, and it's much more than what you are paying.
A different environment, when you play the set, the money can't take you, because they know they just collect it. A different environment.
So you feel like when you touch down, the man will come check you because they know you get paid $10,000 US a week for play for Philadelphia Union? Mr. Speed, sorry, it's not credible. The little $2,000 with JFF I give, that's not what the man them in them community want tax them. They want somebody 10,000 US a week.
You know there are $2,000.
Wasn't it? We heard the discussions. There's some discussions. I don't know if it...
Cataract.
Eh?
I used
Yes,
to,
sir.
you know, if Cataract, me have players, they play for me. And you know why I start with them bank statements, bank accounts early in their career, in the school. It's when you get 19 at cap and carry go over, man, I wait me out the room. So, them prefer to know say the money in the bank, so them just say, yo, me not have cash for me, which is the truth them attack. And then just draw like a $5,000 and walk with that. And let the rest, because if you have to walk with it, go 30 place. But when man don't beg them, every man line up and man vex when you not give them all that. It's a different environment, Cataract. You know better, you know.
No, but no, man, I'm talking about the national team and appearing for the national team in which 90% of the footballers do not reside in Jamaica, right?
But in the 10% of our issue.
Okay.
The 10% of our issue, and even them never reside in Jamaica, when they come to Jamaica and start walk on the road, at the same issue.
Yeah, but they are come out and there are rumblings, you know, in from some of the players who participated in the campaign that they have outstanding amounts to them.
Of course, it's true. So look here.
Okay.
But they are all in our reason. We spend $1 billion on the campaign almost, and we earn zero. You know, it's because we're broke.
Is that a question?
Yes,
No, but Mr. Speed, at some point in time, I am certain I heard officials of the JFF said, I think it's around the time when we raised the issue. I asked the question about Mr. Paul Hall, and when things were said that he was the contract amount, that JFF doesn't owe anybody. They have honored their obligations under the contract. But I know that you are not finance.
Well, man. There was a point in time that it paid up all the players. The last couple of matches, it didn't pay. That is true too. Both of them is true at the same time.
Okay, so that so it's not the World Cup campaign then, it's for the Nations League game.
There was a point in time during the World Cup when it paid up everybody.
Okay.
On the period, so both statements are true at the same time.
Oh, that's what I mean. So, but to the latter end of the World Cup campaign, some of those may still be outstanding. Okay. And Nations League. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How does the JFF raise money to pay salary? Because when FIFA give money, it is for specific things. Where do these monies come? Like, is it when you play games or it is sponsorship? Where does the money come from to pay salary? Especially like if you have low attendance at the game. If FIFA give you $10 and said, listen, build a bathroom for the female team, you can't use it to pay salaries. You have to do that. So when FIFA give money to specific purposes, let's use of a better term. So where does the money come from to pay salaries for the players?
There's a part of what they give us that we can use for operation.
Okay.
But it's just not enough. So we have to find other methods. And one of the methods is when you can't pay a bill, you have to owe someone. Understand? So that's really what it is. I mean, it's not a rocket science. It's a business just like anybody else. If you don't have enough money, you owe. And you owe the bank or you owe some credit or because you are that. So I can only say we're grateful for the players who are staying restrained. And so we have to pay them in the future. But there was a time we paid for everybody, both boys and girls, and we're not even paid. But then at the end, we expect to qualify and get back some money. If we World Cup in a qualify now and huge sums every World Cup in it. That's why we have a big deficit.
So we need to qualify for the World Cup then?
Yep. When everybody is saying that they want to win the World Cup, they don't give up all of them World Cup second place just to get the World Cup.
But when you win the Gold Cup, you get something in the region of about $1 million US, which would go a far way.
You know, The World Cup are 9 million.
Yeah, but okay. The, the point is that Jamaica should be trying to qualify for every tournament and win every tournament that it takes part in, because that is part of your inflows into the coffers. And when we don't go, it has a deleterious effect on the bank balance.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, Mannings, for me, I'm back to being confused. I thought I was unconfused. So no, I don't know how much a player gets paid in match fees. I don't know how the per diem. We don't know.
Yeah,
And then when you hear these rumblings, you can't say anything. Pardon me?
We are among the highest in the world. The PMA. We are
I don't
among the
know.
highest
We don't know how much it is.
in the world.
in the world,
Yes.
in what per diem?
But, in match appearance fees, but why would we be?
Yes.
Why would we be?
Oh, hold on. No. Let's.
I'm sorry, Mannings.
Hold on. No, Keter. No, Mrs. England pay how much £1,000?
£2,000 per game.
England.
Yeah.
United States.
Yeah, sure. But not much more.
The United States pay way more than Jamaica. In fact, their female team just gone. So when they say we are highest in the world,
No, not two. One sec.
What?
Two, not
USA
more.
paid 3,250. Are for appearance are 4,500 per game. So appearance fee is 3,250 and per game 4,500. So when a player plays,
appearance fee is close. Our appearance is close.
So when a player play for a game for the USA, he walks away with $7,700. You know, $7,700.
We're not here.
Oh, so we're not one of the highest in the world.
I'm saying we are among the highest. I never said we were the highest.
That's very.
Or was it higher than Mexico?
Really? Whoa. I'd love to see some of those.
I have checked. You have a lot of other countries don't pay any. A lot. Not even one thing.
But Mannings, I have a question. I have a serious question.
Hold on. Up to last year, I know that the girls were saying that they needed. They had come out and said their per diem was like $50. So, and I checked that with other teams, and that was way low compared to at least 30 teams at the time on the female side that I checked. But if on the appearance fee we are up there, that is very good. Maybe we need to decrease it, seeing that we just appearing.
Mannings, but it must be if you are paying the highest fees in the world. Jamaica would be
among the highest.
No, among the highest fees in the world. Then Jamaica would be the new Chelsea.
No, man. Remember, like France players don't collect, the problem you have, when you hear this.
Hold on. England players don't actually collect. They donate to charity. We just read, and I've heard that before.
So a lot of the times when you hear these things, it must be put in context, because the truth is, like the Brazilian players don't get no money.
Yes, but that is not true, because they have a deal with large corporate sponsors that is premised on the fact that certain players must be in the team whenever Brazil plays. So they get it that way. They may not get it from the federation directly, but I'm just saying that when you're sitting down to negotiate, boy, I'm stunned. So I'll just leave it.
Well, here's what I'm saying.
So good money is paid when you represent Jamaica.
We can be.
There is some countries, one on management, there are some countries that the gaffer take your appearance fee and give the charity, the CIV fee. You didn't know that?
Yeah, man. England, the players and they give their monies to because you're giving somebody £2,000 who is earning £400,000 a week. What is he going to do with that? More than buy some champagne. So they give it away to charity and to this association, the supporters trust and all sort of something. They do. and God bless them. But in Jamaica's case, we with our culture, we see it as earning and we want our money on this thing. So it is a salary, right? Pay to play. So now the demands of the expectation of the fans must be higher. Because if you are getting paid reasonably well or comparably well, then we must expect comparable performances.
Yeah. There you go. But the point I'm making though is that we have to put it in context, because some of the bigger nations though, to be fair to them, their players don't collect appearance fee. But the nation is sponsored, so the money in fact goes into their football federation. Like Argentinian money goes back into the football. And when the players win competition, they get that. But like the World Cup, they get from that. What they don't get is like when Messi turns up, they don't pay him.
What are they going to pay Messi?
But that's that. So yeah, I think you're missing the point I am making.
No, but I'm saying, no, Mannings, the sponsor for Argentina. Argentina is playing certain players. It's in the contract that they have with the Argentina Federation. You recall when we were talking about the friendly that we had.
Here's the point I am making. When Mr. Speed says Jamaica is amongst the highest, the truth is a lot of the top nations are not in that grouping because they don't do it. Do you understand that?
Yeah, but so you're still among the highest.
No, I'm not saying we're not among the highest, but who are the highest? In other words, my question is, the highest are not the top nations anyways. That's all I'm saying.
I heard thing, but I saw something today where you had Gold Cup 2023 and CAC.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the Gold Cup. But you know, Mr. Speed, don't make sure you send him finish now, because he's really.
Him gone. Okay, no.
Yeah. I don't want him dip on the line when we discuss them things here. So, Mr. Speed, if we need you, we shout you back, you know. You have anything else you want to add?
Cool.
Yeah.
No, man, good.
All right. Yeah, man. All right, that was Mr. Rudolph Speed. All right. Yeah. So now, people. All right. Some person have been saying, Monies man, I hear that Jamaica playing Brazil. Monies man, Jamaica playing Brazil before the World Cup. People. All right. Here's what I believe is best, and here's what I think the GFF should do, and here's what I think is going to happen. Jamaica is going to play in Europe, because I believe that most of the squad for the Gold Cup will come out of Europe. The Brazilian game would be in the States. So I don't think that is going to happen because of timing and all of that. So Jamaica to play in Europe, 2 friendlies, and then fly from there 3 days before the start of the Gold Cup, which is what CONCACAF takes care of, and get into the United States. That is what I think needs to happen. So my word to the GFF is, make the coach, and may I talk from John Wall to Hal Grimson to Lauren Donaldson, talking to all of you have to make the coach's job easier. What are the things, the personnel, the resources, human resources and other resources that they need to make their jobs easier? You have to get those things to them. Like Hal Grimson needs to get everything that he says he needs. I believe that as a footballing nation, we have to begin to give the coaches all that they ask for, and then judge them after you have provided them with what they ask for. We cannot judge our coaches after we have not given them. We don't want a situation to come around again where Tapper, like in Tapper's situation when he said, boy, he asked for certain things and he didn't get it in time. So he wasn't able to do some of the things that he wanted to do. Some of us may say that, well, you'd have failed anyway. That is left to be determined. But what I'll say is that with these coaches in place now, we need to ensure that everything that they want for tournaments and before tournaments, it is in place early. Like now, everything the coach wants at the Gold Cup, every person he wants around him must be in place and ready to go. right? We don't want to hear, oh, this person couldn't travel because of this. This player couldn't make it because of this. We never had any of this. We never had any of this. And no, ensure that the coaches are given all that they need. And then when the tournaments are finished, you begin to judge and measure them. What say you, Ketara?
You can store something I play. A 2-man there on the program and it look right. Good. Thank you. I believe that if a coach is asked to get a particular objective, i.e., win the Gold Cup, reach the Gold Cup finals, I don't know what the agreement is or what the request is, then that coach would then put together a strategic plan of how to achieve this objective, and that plan would have certain requirements or certain things that need to be in place for them to achieve. Now, if you don't provide me with the things I say that I need to achieve this result, we then have to look at, okay, can we look at an alternative expectation? But within reason, if you can't provide it, then you have to alter your expectation of the coach. That's how it goes when you're negotiating key performance indicators and goals. So if you're saying to the coach to win the Gold Cup and the coach says to you, I need to play 4 matches, I need 2 in Europe and I need 1 on US soil to be acclimatized, I need to play a team that plays like the USA, I need to play a team that plays like Nicaragua, I need to play a team that plays like, I don't know, Curacao. You have to provide those things or near as damn it. If not, if the coach says I need to go to England and spend 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks looking at the players, then the funds have to be found for the coach to be comfortable in England, up and down the motorway, looking at eligible players in his hotel room, and the Football Federation should provide that. If the coach says I need to go to Israel because I hear so them have a whole heap of Jamaican Jews where play ball down Israel, forward down there. So whatever it is that he requires, I agree, within reason. Because at the end of the day, I'm sure that the coach is not asking for $1 million worth of things. But that is what is at stake, as we just heard from Mr. Speed. And then we know that they're kind of like schizophrenic when it comes to that, because one moment the JFF have money and the next moment they're broke. So give the coach what he needs, give the coach what he wants, and demand the results. That's where the Ultras stand.
All right.
What the man in say in that section?
We have around 5 minutes to go, because we have EPL game coming up and things. So I mean, how your Leeds faring, man? Big Sam can keep you in the league.
It's going to be very difficult.
Are you being led up? You're leading yourself out.
It's very, very, very difficult. We have a very daunting run-in. We're playing the league leaders next. We're playing Newcastle, who is trying to stay in the top 4 and qualify for the Champions League. And then we have the almighty relegation 6-pointer with West Ham United. I think that's where it goes. If we get the 3 points from West Ham, we're safe. If not, trouble there.
And you get rid of your coach and your director of football at the same time?
I think panic has set in. They normally, people would have said you should have brought in Big Sam in January and just try to survive. But you're not with Big Sam. They're not trying to pass the ball out the middle and knock the ball to oof it up the field. Is what we will be playing for the next 4 games. But it's the most expensive contract. It's $1 million a game. Big Sam getting paid,
Why did who they should have gotten? Roy Hodgson.
Then Roy Hodgson are gone already, brother. Roy Hodgson there at Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace.
No, but he has a tie with Crystal Palace. But Big Sam, the man, and Roy Hodgson, them and I see him clique, They drink from the same well. And as you heard, the first thing Big Sam did when he come there is tell you, I'm as good as Pep and Klopp. But boy, I can't chat to me. So the man has put us under pressure immediately. But seriously, I believe that they will spend time practicing how far, and the players who will start are those who can kick the ball the furthest away from the Leeds United goal. That's who will be playing.
It
Right?
will be interesting to see how all of those American playing in Sam Allardyce system.
Brother, it's oof. OUFF. That's what we'll be playing because there's so much at stake. Look here, I think we in Leeds, we have nightmares about the last time we were relegated, 16 years to come back up. There's nothing that says that that can't happen again. So I think we're throwing everything in the wind. To pay pay a coach $1 million per game to keep you in the league. That's what his bonus would be. It's £1 million per game if he keeps us in the league. Shows you the extent to which staying in the Premier League is critical. The only thing I can say that can save us is Woba is back. And we have our first choice centre back pairing, although we're leaking goals like a sieve.
Yeah.
Bamford is getting a bit on the score sheet once or twice, but you know what I mean? It's rough. Look at Leicester. Vardy is now back scoring, and they look like they are trying to give a run in. With Nottingham Forest, Brennan Johnson has gone off the boil. He has gone off the boil. So otherwise they would have been safe. So one day you're safe and the next day you're not. That's how it's doing down at the bottom.
No, man. Right now, Southampton is gone.
They're cut adrift, but they're now depending on results.
Everton, I think, is gone. So it's one more team.
Yes, and that's between Leeds, Leicester, and Nottingham Forest.
And West Ham.
And no, three of us up on 30, you know.
No, but West Ham have 34.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not counting West Ham in it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not counting West Ham in it. Because West Ham would have to lose. I am not counting West Ham in it. I think West Ham have clawed their way with breathing space because you need more than one result to go against you. You know, and they'd be sitting down looking at the Leeds game saying, I can win this last game and go to 37 points and it's pretty much safe.
Yeah.
So it's sticky. It's between Leeds, Nottingham Forest, and Leicester. Yeah. Down with the Midlands, up with Yorkshire. You know, but it's sticky, man. It's very, very sticky, icky.
People, I don't know who Jamaica going to play, but I think the games are going to be played. We seem to like
when
Austria.
You say Europe, why are we playing in Austria? And especially when we're talking about.
Who said that we're playing in Austria?
No man. I'm asking a question. Especially when we are talking about, when you say Europe, do you mean England?
No, I just know that it is easier for the players to camp in Europe and come over because so many of them are in Europe than to fly to have a camp in Jamaica then go to the Gold Cup. It's harder. So I am saying that it is better to stay in Europe and play 2 friendlies and then go to the Gold Cup.
So why? But what is puzzling me, and I find it a bit, as the British would say, I find it a bit suspect, man.
Yeah.
Why are you not saying England? The majority of our players come from England, not Europe. The majority are in England. So should the camp not be in England? Didn't we develop a relationship with Leicester City, with the Reggae Girls, where we camp there? Should we not be building on that?
You don't know what the cost is and the availability.
Season done.
But that don't mean cataract. Like some of the time, brother, you listen.
No, it's off season.
What I am saying, here's what I'm saying to you. I never ask if season start. Availability don't mean that because the season, people may have other things in their stadium at the time. So I'm saying that you don't know availability and you don't know the cost as well. How do you know? Let me ask you, how do you know that if we were to do the camp in England versus in France, versus in Austria, versus in Sweden, in Denmark, how do you know which one would be more inexpensive?
How do I know?
Yeah, how do you determine that?
You check up the cost, mate.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't know, so you cannot just.
I do know that the flight cost would be zero. because the players live, the majority of the players live in
It
England.
cannot be zero. It cannot be zero.
Look
Because
here,
if
the
other
man.
players in Europe who have to fly,
So what's the cost? What's the cost for Amari Bell to get? It's
Amar,
zero.
so
They're
listen,
not flying. The
listen,
majority of the players are not
Cameron.
flying, Mannings. You will be talking about. Hold on, man. You ask me a question, so I'm answer, the brother.
Hmm.
All right, go on ahead. You look
What I am saying to
flabbergasted.
you is that if you keep it in England, players will still have to fly there. So what?
How many?
So that's what you don't know. You don't know. You don't. You. What I'm saying is that we always have. I don't like when we have discussions on opinion. We're talking things like they're fact. That we know that of the players who are going to the Gold Cup, these players from England are going to go, and no other player from outside there are going to go. No, you're saying that there is
No, Mannings.
you're
Mannings,
saying
you
that
are
there's
doing
more
what
players.
Mannings man does. You are taking
But you are
something and
saying
twisting it to the extreme. I just said to
didn't
you that,
there are
hold
more
on,
players from England?
the largest number of players who have represented the Reggae Boys in the last 12 months play and live in England. That is a fact. If you are telling me now that somehow there are going to be new Reggae Boys discovered in parts far flung, say so.
No,
So I don't pick the team.
You do not know the composition of the squad to say that.
So you know the composition of the squad.
That's why I'm not discussing it, because I am saying to you, I don't know, so I cannot determine that it is more inexpensive to be in England than elsewhere. You are saying that you know that. You
And I'm
don't.
and I'm
You're
saying
saying
to
that you
you,
want to check the cost, and I'm saying that right. That is what we need to do to check the cost. What you are having a discussion about is that it must be why we don't do it in England, because you are assuming that anywhere else will be more expensive than England. And I've said to
okay,
you, what do you use to determine that? That's all I'm saying to you.
I hope you allow me. Okay, so let me tell you what I'm used to determine that. That
Mm,
in 2023, for the
mhm.
games that we have played in 2023, the breakdown of the squad used, over 50% of the players live, play, and reside in England. 2 or 3 in
In
Europe.
2020,
Hold
all right,
on a
go
minute.
ahead.
In 2023, the
You're
other,
wrong still about 50%, but go ahead.
pardon me?
You're wrong about the 50%,
Oh,
but
I'm
go ahead.
wrong. Okay then. Okay, let's
Go
go.
ahead.
No, since I'm wrong, Shamar Nicholson is in Russia. That's one in Europe. And Kahim Paris is
No,
in
no.
Slovak,
You say in
Ukraine.
Europe or in
Hold
England?
on, my friend. You said
No,
I'm.
let me ask you.
You're not
Did you
okay.
say in Europe or in England? Because we have already determined that
No,
the
no,
thing is
no.
going.
I
We
am.
already determined that it's going to be Europe. What I'm talking about is, are you saying the 50% is in England or in Europe?
Well, I can't say anything because you're cutting me.
No, I'm asking you, is the 50% you mentioned players in
50%
England or in
live,
Europe?
play in England. ELGAND.
All right, go ahead.
England.
In
Good.
2023, 50% of the team playing in England. All right, go ahead. Give me the squad now.
As far as I counted, Kahim Paris and Boza are the players who were resident in Europe. Those in England, Leon Bailey, Amari Bell, Dexter Lembekisi, Jamal Lowe, Bobby Reed, Daniel Johnson. That's 6 in England. Ethan Pinnock, 7 in England. Right? And I left that one there. So 7 in England, 2 in mainland Europe. In the United States, Damian Lowe.
So do you realize that? Do you realize? Hold on, Keter. Do you realize that that is less than 50% of your squad?
So, you gonna let me finish, sir?
Okay, go ahead.
Damian Lowe,
Damian Lowe,
Andre Blake didn't play in the last match if you're going to go there, so I'm not counting Andre Blake. But let's just say add 1-1. Because Andre Blake and Mikel Antonio would be added to that number to make it 8 from England. So Damian Lowe, Andre Blake, Jamali Waite, right? Indian Corey Burke in the United States. Javain Brown, 5 from the United States.
Kevin Lambert was in the squad. What are you talking about? The Mexico squad?
The last, 2023, the last competitive squads that we've had in 2023. We've only played one competitive game.
Okay, in 2023.
Yes.
In 2023, we have played one competitive game, and
yes,
that's against Mexico.
Mexico, sir.
In February.
Mexico in the Nations League.
In the Nations.
I don't think it was in February, but yes.
It wasn't in February?
I don't know.
Or it was in March?
It was in March, I think.
All right. So let's look at the squad. It's very easy to name the squad. To find out if 50% of the squad that played in the game against Mexico are players in Europe. All right?
Let's go to the percentage. So you're denying it. So it was a 20-man squad, right?
So let me just give you the squad. I'm helping you. It was in March.
Yes.
I'm helping you. So let me give you the. I'm going to give you the squad. We have a call and then we need to end this. But I'm going to give you the squad. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
I'll mute while you hear.
Hey, Cranky, welcome to the show.
2 seconds. I mean, for 2 seconds, I can't for 2 seconds. I can't really what I'm saying is, but why are you giving Cataract a hard time when he's right?
About what?
He's saying that it makes sense to have Ben where most other players are domiciled. Right? That's the argument?
That it makes sense too? Cataract, I said the camp is going to be in England. I said it is.
No, sir. You did not say in England. You said Europe.
Sorry. I said in Europe. I said it is better to keep the camp in Europe, right? Better to keep it in Europe because most of the players who are going to be in the Gold Cup squad are in Europe. Cataract said,
by the way,
are in Europe. That's what I said. Hold on. Cataract said it should be in England. I asked him, what proof does he have that if the camp is in England, in comparison to any other place in Europe, it would be more inexpensive? And I asked him about availability. I asked him, what is the proof you have that England would be?
And I started by... Sorry, go ahead, Cronky.
What proof... So wait, I'm going to jump off quickly. What proof do you have, Mannings, man, that...
Because I wasn't arguing that. All I said was the camp... Cranky, remember, all I said is that the camp should be in Europe. Cataract said it should be in England. So I'm asking, based on what?
So what Cataract is saying, which makes a lot of sense, is that wherever you keep it in England, not that bigger country, proximity for players for that long season, you want to keep them as close to home as possible. So if you have 2 more players in England, fly over, wherever you go, would be a longer day.
But do you agree, Cranky, that there are other factors that are connected to a game, including cost of using a venue, accommodation for your team? Do you know what those costs are to determine that it would be more that's all I'm asking. Do you know those costs? Tell me. I didn't say it cannot happen. No. You and Cataract said yes, it can.
So Manning?
Because at no point did I say it cannot happen. What I'm asking you is to show me, prove to me that it is more financially feasible to keep it there.
And I'm going to, but you keep cutting me because, stand cranky. Stand cranky. Let me finish that. Let me just finish and done you.
Cranky have to leave.
No.
Cranky have to leave.
Oh, finish cranky. Finish cranky. I'll allow you. I didn't realize you had to leave.
Monies, but I'll help you. Monies, it's not for Kedrick to prove it, it's for you to dispute his argument and to prove him wrong. So what do you have in Europe? Go back to say the tide of the cost of the third is less than it. Because you're the one disputing his argument. He's saying that it's better. You're saying what do you have to say to this?
Yeah, I'm not hearing. It's like you're breaking up.
Hold on, put up head. Hold on. That's the one.
Further than that, Mannings, when the games are ahead.
Hold on, Cranky, better. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So let me say this, Mannings, man. I don't think it's Kedrick's duty to prove that he is right. I think you are disputing his suggestion or his perspective. So it's for you to say, you know what, Kedrick? When we assess the cost, being in Europe, all inclusive, including facilities, location, hoteling, all of that, versus in England, it's a better option for the JFF. His argument about location, domicile, proximity is a valid argument.
But no,
in fact, one would say,
sorry, go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
no, but Monies man. He said England, and you're disputing that, right? You're saying Europe.
No.
And people say, well, England's in Europe. No, Europe is a big continent.
Yeah.
England is different from being in Russia, in Germany, or being in Austria, being in Sweden. So the question is, Mannings, why is England the first option? If you didn't say, you know what, we couldn't find a location in England. All the Premier League teams and Championship teams and League Two teams had no facilities for us. The hoteling is too expensive compared to something. There's a different argument. But the premise that it should be England is the right premise. So anyway, I gotta run. It's the right premise.
Thank you, Stan.
You can tell me later. You can tell me later, Kedrick.
I don't know.
Bye.
Why, Cranky?
I'll thank you later. This meeting was brought to you all courtesy of the Stan Chat. This meeting was brought to you all courtesy of the Stan Chat Alliance.
Let me give you
let me finish. Let me finish. You keep cutting me. You keep cutting me so that I don't get to present my point fully to you. Secondly, there's something on the income side of it. England is the location that you are able to get the largest number of fans to come to the game that would emanate, the friendly match that would emanate from the camp. Because that's where we have the largest support base of Jamaica there. So on the income side, it's advantageous. Number three, if they are players that the coach wants to look at, England has been the place that he has the largest catchment pool if he wants to look at some other options there. That would bring to him. The issue about hotel and food costs, those might be valid, except to say that in terms of the larger European nations, the cost of hotels in Spain, well, France is way above, England, etc., is lower because they have a larger number of choices of accommodation to stay at in England because it's a tourist destination, and so there's a gamut of hotels there. The food part I can't answer about to tell you food more expensive, but I do know that Jamaican food is cheaper in England than it is to find in Sweden, and so you'd be paying higher for a piece of yam to cook for a Jamaican than it would be to pay for it in Birmingham. So you're wrong on all fronts, my brother.
I don't know what I am wrong. First thing, so let me show you where you like, and this is the problem with YouTube. So the team is going to be in Europe. You have no facts to determine who they are going to play, if they are being invited and by who. Yet you start suggesting, you don't know who is inviting them. You don't know the arrangement for the game. You don't know where they're going to play. You don't know if Germany has invited. Hold on, let me done talk. You can make up your face, you can turn it upside down, you can screw it up, anything you want to do. Anything you want to do. You don't know if Germany is inviting Jamaica to play 2 series a game. But you are here telling people that them should play the game in England, and you don't have no facts about it.
I said
How
you to
are you
host the
making
camp in England. Host the
which
camp
game?
in
Which
England and
and you
travel to
don't
Germany for the game then.
listen
And
up.
you don't have any
Listen up.
proof that the English
Listen.
FA is not inviting Jamaica to play.
Listen. I am saying you don't have any proof. I have my info. You don't have any. But
So
you
then
are
sit so that you
let
tell
me
the people them say you are set the game them, man.
no. Listen, you
Me
see, you're
no
gone
know.
for
Me no
different.
know nothing about where I'm going.
You see, you're gone for a different thing. Here's where you're gone for now. You start talking about me. Listen to me again. You have all I said is that Jamaica. This is what I think should happen. This is what I believe should happen. They should have a camp in Europe. You immediately jumped out and said, yes, they should, and the JFF should see why they wouldn't have it in England. In England. And you start giving, you don't know who is arranging the game. You don't know if a nation is inviting them. You don't know what arrangement is in place. And you are suggesting that. And you come and you have present. Watch it, let me finish. You have presented all of this information as to why it should be in England when you don't have no clue who is making the arrangement. How that? Hold on.
I know who's making the arrangements.
Who is making the arrangement?
One pilgrim in England, with them say the agent will set up the game for the JFF. That's what the JFF said. The JFF said, the JFF
according to
General
you,
Secretary has said, no. According to the Jamaica Football Federation General Secretary,
no,
Darren Clark is their agent who looks for matches for them around the world. True or false?
You just said that.
True or false?
You said you know who is making the arrangements. You said it is a one pilgrim.
No, and I gave his name. His name came to me. His name came to me. Darren Clark, a king.
I don't know
the kingmaker.
I'm not going to call anybody's name.
No, but so hold on. When Mr. Chung called his name on your program and said, we have an agent in England by the name of Darren Clark, whose job it is to get the friends from us around the world.
I have
You've never heard.
Honestly,
okay.
Hold on. I have never heard Darren Clark being mentioned.
Okay, sir.
I've heard of Clark, but not Darren Clark.
Oh, Clark. Well, I don't know. Well, I'm Mr. Clark then.
Sir
Clark.
I've never heard him being referred to.
What are the Clark them? What are the Clark them? But not the one who make Clark boots.
Jesus Christ. I've never heard of this person being mentioned as a pilgrim, which is a derogatory term.
I am mentioning him as a pilgrim. Me.
Why would you? Anyways, we don't want to get into that.
What is a pilgrim? A pilgrim is somebody who walks and brings the gospel. But what's a pilgrim?
Okay,
is a pilgrim a bad thing, Pastor?
Okay. You meant it in a good way, Ketara. Not a problem. Let's move on. Let's move on, Ketara. So, a camp, I'm suggesting, because there are rumors coming out that the Jamaica team will be playing Brazil. And I'm saying, wouldn't it be better for the players if a camp is in Europe? You immediately start saying why it should be in England. I didn't say you are wrong. Hold on. I didn't say you are wrong. I'm asking you for reasons why you believe. And here's why. Hold on. You don't know Cataract. What arrangements are being made and who those arrangements are being made with. So let me give you an example. It is also possible, Cataract, that seeing that the Jamaica Football Federation and the Germans are in agreement for development of its football, that they could be a part of this and want to play it in Germany. So you are really proposing that the Germans who want to play Jamaica, as an example, in Germany in 2 games and have them there in Mönchengladbach for their camp should take up all of that and find the money to send Jamaica to England because that is better for Jamaica, those who are trying to work. You don't know those things. So what you should do, hold on, what you should do is wait to see, one, if there's actually going to be a camp in Europe. Two, where it's going to be. Three, find out the arrangements. And four, then you propose what you believe would be better. But until then, my brother, we listen, we watch, we are preempting something that we don't know about and having a discussion and having a debate on something that we have no clue about. We can have a separate discussion as to why Jamaica should have camps in England. But on this occasion, you have no facts to support your argument, brother. Close the show. We have 9 minutes to go.
And I've been quiet and calm and allowed you. So here we go, Monies, man.
Yeah.
There are some facts. The facts are that the majority of players from Jamaica reside and play, are domiciled in England. The facts are that the majority of support in that hemisphere resides, for Jamaica, resides in England. Russia is in Europe. So should we have a camp in Russia? No. Ukraine is in Europe. Should we have a camp? So if you want to get crazy and mad because you want it in Europe, then we can get crazy and mad, like when you like to take people's thing to the extreme. So let me take your thing. So we should have a camp in Ukraine and dodge the bomb them. Brother, England, including Heathrow, there are two hubs for travel. There are two hubs for travel in Europe. Charles de Gaulle Airport and London, Heathrow and Gatwick. There are two hubs for travel.
Is it Gatwick?
They're the two largest hubs.
I'm just asking if it is
Gatwick. The third is Germany.
Just listen to me. You said Gatwick. I'm asking you, is it Gatwick?
Gatwick. Gatwick.
That's what I'm asking you, sir. To pronounce it properly.
That's where Crawley Town plays, sir. You know who plays for Crawley Town? Anthony Grant.
I'm just asking you. You
see back Anthony Grant come up in the show? Nil all. 6 games, 3 clean sheets. Since the defensive midfielder joined the program, they are safe. You can't say to them. Yes, man. So I'm just saying to you, this is my musing, my recommendation. Nobody has to listen. Nobody has to listen to the madman cataract that says that it's the place where we're more culturally adept. You're not making adjustments. If you go there, it's further to fly to America. The flight time from mainland Europe is greater than the flight time from England, so you're closer to America. So if you add logistically, it is a better option on the body in terms of flight time, the time you spend in the air. But as I say, I don't know nothing, so whatever. But I also don't know if England invite us to play, so why would we go play England and Germany? But I don't know if Wales, but I don't know if Scotland.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't know why you're saying that. You start bring up issue. You don't even know.
But let me say to you.
Maybe it is England.
But let me say to you, you should have the camp doesn't have to be where the game takes place, because you can have a 10-day camp and then go and play the games in Germany and return and then fly on to England, on to the United States.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
All right, Teddy Lee's asking you which one you're born, sir.
Just when we thought it couldn't get worse. No, man. Nothing asked. No, man. Them birthday. Take birthday present from, man. Oh, some guy, man. Teddy Lee, just go easy, dog. Let me tell you the day that I'm born, though. Teddy Lee, big man thing. Them security guard will run up and down and look good, brother. You have to do something, Teddy.
Leave the security guard.
No, you mean them gonna sit on security guard to camp out of St. Thomas, man? No, I tell himself if you deal with that, just make sure I can get my money out for my birthday safely from the ATM.
Do you respect
Big up every security guard.
Do you respect Bob Marley?
Do I respect Bob? The gong. Yes, I respect the gong.
But
no. Woman, no cry.
No. Stop that. Didn't Bob Marley say, "He who fights and run away, live to fight another day"? So what is wrong with the security guard who runs away?
Yeah, but I also respect a great black philosopher that says a coward dies 1,000 deaths. You've never heard about that?
So Bob Marley was a coward
The brave
when he said
only
that.
dies
I'm
one.
asking you.
No, have you heard that wise saying, sir? Don't come to
No.
me with philosophy, man. I feel like say a sound alone a play, no. Yeah, man.
How
We know Plato
no,
and all these philosophers. Yeah, man.
you know what I just said? What I
Yes,
just said,
sir.
I told you who said it. Who said what you said?
Enough, man.
As far as I'm concerned, it's category.
Actually, it's starting to do in the art. In the art of war, I'm telling you, man. That's the art of war.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And he who was a training camp in England lives to train another day.
Show Improvement is asking you which month you're born because she's a female.
But December sure improvement. I'm Sagittarius. You know that song that's done by the Drifters? Float on, float on. Sagittarius. He's the good looking one.
Man, say dub splice get her, but a coward man dies 1,000 times. What goes up?
A coward dies 1,000 deaths.
What that mean, Keter?
Go
Explain to
and
the
look it
people.
up.
No,
What
explain
it
what that means.
What it means is that the brave will stand and fight and could only die once. But a coward man, you keep running, you will die 1,000 times inside. Because the cause that you're fighting for, would have died.
What? Let me ask you something. What would you prefer? To die 1,000 times or to die once?
Okay, so let me give you a quote from a poem.
I'm asking you a question. Which would you prefer?
Pu patria muri. Now, for those who had the pleasure of studying Latin, right? And I attended Reginae Collegium, around one part of Oxford. Don't ramp with me.
Wasn't the
It
man
means there is no greater honor than to die for your country. That's what it means. There's no greater honor than to die for your country.
What does that have to do with the security guard?
No, you ask me about who fight and run away, and I'm telling you what it means. It means you die 1,000 times. A coward dies 1,000 times. That's why they shoot.
All I ask you is, if you had the ability to die 1,000 times and to die once, which option would you choose?
If I'm dying for principle, I would die for principle, sir. So if I had the chance to run away and die 1,000 times and let slavery live on, no, I'm gonna die one time and stop slavery.
So in principle, the security guard.
But who are the Monies? Wait there.
I'm just asking the question and then.
Okay, you ask me. I want to ask you. We have 2 minutes to go.
The security guard should have stayed and died.
I don't know if we're gonna die. I don't know if we're gonna clap to what them boy and the axio.
All right.
And furthermore, one tall man, if you are going to be a gunman and running, I think one tall man try to jump in the back of the axio. I realize that the seat pushed back too far and they couldn't fit in.
How many times has Cataract died? Sound clash we are talking about.
How many times has Cataract died? I've died a few times. So, but there's pastor. I want to know now. When you're there at the seminary school, though, you move like in the back eye class, like unseen, round eye coaching course. What I know? Isn't it your Lord who said, greater love hath no man that he laid down his life?
There's no greater love than this than a man to lay down his life for his brother. Yeah. So which brother should the security guard have laid down his life for? That is the question they was answer. Anyway,
people, man is man show. The only place you can come and get religion, get selector, talk, get dub plate, get football, get philosophy, Plato.
The man sounded around 20 times already and he's still a play.
The man, no, don't try that. Me not dead. My son is dead 20 times. We have had some high profile deaths, but we're not dead 20 times. No, sir.
Really? How much clash have you won? To be fair, like real sound clash. Your sound that they can say, yeah. Tell me some of the big sound where you lock off.
Lock off David Radigan in a Boston. That there on YouTube. Go look for that. Cataract versus David Radigan. Lock him off. Clean. Lock him off.
All right, one.
Lock off Kilimanjaro in Spanish Town.
Two.
with Ricky Trooper playing Kilimanjaro.
All right, do that.
Mm. Kill Base Odyssey in Trelawney. Dead back in. I've lost. Base Odyssey is the song that killed Cataract the most times.
How much time Base Odyssey kill?
3 major times.
How much minor times?
No, man, you have time when they dance, they scramble up and stuff like that. But the three big death. One in New York. We weren't ready for that one, they said. People force ripe like Tyreek McGee and said we go to New York or clash. And people them kind of look at me like, oh no brother.
People we can't understand when I beat the coach and him win percentage is very low.
No man, the win percentage is high, man. We right Adonai, which was the sound of the year. That's what we make with them. In a 1 weekend, we kill 6 songs. So Cataract come to prominence. We kill Base Odyssey in a Old Harbor. We kill Top Secret in. Pardon me? Not Base Odyssey. We kill Bodyguard in a Old Harbor. Sorry. We kill Bodyguard in a Old Harbor. Right?
So around 5 shot you win so far.
No, man, we the only clash outside of that. Because remember say only little sound rise up against, but you can't call those things. So we lock off Amplex twice. Once in a De La Vega and once in a Linstead. Them type Amplex.
And only two, so only Base Odyssey beat you.
That kill we? No man, the most damaging defeat of the Base Odyssey them. And Kilimanjaro kill us back, man. A bad defeat in a Bermuda.
So
very bad.
Kill Base only two, so not Jamaica beat.
No man, that's on defeat. I think Firelinks get a win half away. Firelinks get a win half away.
Yeah. What about Tony Mataran?
No sir.
What about Pink Panther?
Never played Pink Panther when it was Pink Panther. Played when it was on Black Cat.
What about Black Cat?
Black Cat. No, we never did to Black Cat. Never did to Black Cat.
You kill Black Cat?
No.
Anyway,
no.
What about
Mike? You have all Travis. Ask Travis about Q45 and the death and Turbo.
Q45 or Samsung. You can't. We try to kill Q45. You can't kill Q45.
You can't kill Q45. String him up on neck. Ask about Turbo Panic and Winterfresh. Ask Winterfresh about Cataract. Ask Winterfresh. Let me talk to the man them from West. You go on man. I forget what man is at school. Cataract is the graveyard for some of them from Westmoreland.
Hear this. The school on near Manning's High School, sir. Near Manning School.
The Manning School, sir. Yeah, man. Nothing. It wasn't in Westmoreland. I think at St. Elizabeth then get string up and hand drawn and quartered. Exodus.
Yeah. Exodus nuclear.
No, I think we get a defeat by 4x4 Exodus.
Oh, what about Stone Love?
Stone Love would never play back with Cataract. We nearly run them and done. They'll never play with it. That's Upper UE.
Okay.
That's Upper UE. Get couple dead by Silver.
Basta say a liar tell her Quincy was playing the sound.
So when we did that, yes, Quincy is the main selector for the song, so where we there? Quincy play the records.
So where
we there? No, brother, don't do me that.
What you do? So you do and you play the record, and then you what them talk on the microphone. What you do then?
What do you mean what me do then?
Let me ask you.
Who talk on the mic?
I don't know.
They have several people who talk on the mic. Biggs, Hitman, Tyrical. They would get somebody when they come off a traveler sound.
So what do you do?
Now I can do everything now.
No, when the clash him that one, what did you do?
Me play early round. That's how I play early rounds, man. Early round. Early round, man. They can say play early round, man. I can go play early round, man.
You ever kill a son for a man to be a yet?
Electra Force, Pieces. Grenade.
You murder Grenade and Pieces?
I mean, Cataract, yeah.
Okay. All right. Man, them say them can't see you on no YouTube, sir.
Electro Force. Go look, man. Go look. Go look. All right, look up. Let me tell you the one we can say big, bad, and brawling. Look up Cataract versus Amplex versus Firelinks in a Euroton, where them get a wicked piece of that.
So the man them ask, so the sound name Cataract and the you name Cataract?
My name Big Cataract. My name after my sound. What? Everybody with the pan Cataract have Cataract in their name. Quincy Cataract in name.
Okay. And you name Biggs Cataract?
Yeah,
What you
man.
say?
Cataract Bigs.
Cataract Biggs.
Mm.
All right. So you said, a your sound.
No, sir.
Then the man.
What do you mean my sound? We play the sound. What do you mean by my sound?
All right, but you play the
We
sound.
play upon the sound.
When you play
Yeah.
the song, you go like when you go dance early and them test out the speaker, them like
No,
bass
no.
and mid-range.
You're bright in the brown stone. You're bright in the brown stone. Don't try that. Don't try that. Don't try that. But listen, let me tell you something. A sound like Cataract, Bass Odyssey, Stone Love, those sound, Bodyguard, they have 2-3 dates that they play all over the country every day, you know.
Yeah.
So you have a large number of selector. We are rocking.
When you have clash, man. Me talk when you have clash. Everybody normally they're on the sound them time.
Yeah, everybody there around the sound, but the most senior man them in the sound, the most senior man them in the sound, I'll take it off.
So you ever
But
take on a
sometimes you
clash?
have some clash where it no need to get there.
Oh, you
Let me
ever take
say,
on a
hold
clash?
on, no. Let me say this to you. For all the people who play early rounds and them something there. Renaissance, we will lock off Renaissance, kill Renaissance out, Olaba again. With like a stomping ground. When you have a clash, if your sound start play foolishness from a turn on in the early rounds, till when it get to the elimination rounds, what they call it elimination rounds. If you play foolishness, sometimes you can't come back because the crowd just set against you.
Oh,
The people start boo you. All right, let me tell you 2 words that we get. We get a debt in a Biltmore ballroom, right? Again, to get King Addies and a Bass Odyssey and the thing. That's all. From the first song Cataract play, the people they start boo. From the record go.
You have to be careful now. When I say from the first song Cataract play, you mean the sound play or you play?
The sound from the sound play from a turn on and the man say.
I wonder why next sense you go to dance sometime when you not play. What you just do? You not play, you not give the you not put on the record them, you not talk on the microphone. So what is your purpose?
No, but hold on. When you're in a clash, right, and a sound finish play around, you gather around and a man say, okay, this and this song play already. You have to take those out of the box because you can't play back tune. You have to say, okay, that man they play. No, hold on now. You have to say, okay,
so
him play Genesis 1. Hold on now. You say him play Genesis 1-1. Never go counteract that can't counteract with this. So everybody I give them ideas how to counteract one man play and them something there. It's a team effort, man. And no one man go do clash. That's why most of the one man selected them win nothing.
Well, okay, them have a big son from St. Elizabeth. What them name? We just win one clash business.
Rough Cut.
Yeah.
Never play them New Year's sound there. Rough Cut and Red Heat and King Ghetto.
At this time, you never know. So you do more like a engineering, you know, and them things.
No,
like
not engineer. I'm not an engineer. I'm not an engineer. Don't try that. And most of the dance with me play a corporate dance and juggling dance.
Oh. So you're not really
because let me tell you something. Jamaican people particularly have a thing. Like when you come to hear Metro Media Clash, you don't come to hear Lampiler, Oliver, you come to hear the big man Sky Juice. And if you don't see that person there,
come here, Cataract, Quincy, them actually come here.
Yeah, but Quincy has passed and gone.
Oh, so who them come here now?
DJ Trigger, DJ TT. Yeah, man.
Who named DJ TT?
Wanted team. Wanted all about it at Jamaica. To the last of life. When I come over your place and spill liquor blood over Stair Town, man, go ask your friend them over Stair Town.
When them say Cataract a warm up act.
Let me tell you, every sound have them era, you know. But we have just tried to remain there. And you have an era when you're steaming hot. It's less than 10 sound remain relevant for over a period of time. Bass Odyssey, you know, way out in the country. Bodyguard not get no date like, but them still about. Based on this is Stone Love.
Marlon, so you're the technical director of Cataract Son. Anyway, people, we are going to end the show. You understand?
That changed my name to Wendell Downswell. What thanks for your man here? Wendell Downswell.
You're the technical director, yeah, man. We think about that big selector. People, listen, you have to run it up. I will give you a look at 10 minutes extra and thing. But, you know.
Yeah, man. Give respect, give thanks for life. Stay safe, everybody, you know? Yeah, man. It was a pleasure. Always.
Best up again. Yeah, people, listen, you don't know how it go. You understand me? As usual, make sure you hit the like button before you go. Subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. That's Cataract. I am Monies, man. Thanks to everyone for joining the show, being a part of today's chat. From those who are in the most rural places in Jamaica to the most affluent places in our society. Those who are overseas, from as far as Asia, watching the show, Europe, North, South, Central America, the Caribbean. Big up to all of you. The older folks, the younger ones, big up on yourself, you understand me? All of the females, thank you as well. The footballing fans, the basketballing fans, thanks to every single one of you. Reggae boys fans, Arsenal fans, bless up on yourself, you understand me? Mullines, you don't know. Mount Pleasant.
Leeds United, you don't know.
Leeds
Crawley Town, you don't know.
Yeah, you understand me? I am Monies, but this has been I Am Sure Sports. And you know how it is when it gets to this point of the show. We say we are over and we are OUT out of here.
Boom, check it out. I don't know it's Jason. I'm a represent for I Am Sure Sports. For the latest news and updates, check out I Am Sure Sports. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe and share. Jason presenting I Am Sure.